Every person out there is somebody's son, somebody's daughter, brother or sister, mother or father.
This is brand new at 6 tonight. A call for compassion from a mother more than 2,700 miles away from Portland. Tonight, she will go to bed again, not knowing if her son is dead or alive. Good evening. Thanks a lot for joining us, everybody. I'm Steve Dunn.
And I'm Rick Asway in for Deb Knapp. There are thousands of people just like that mom, desperately searching for loved ones who are homeless right here in the Pacific Northwest.
As Katu's Angelica Thornton shows us tonight, finding them is just the first step in their heartbreaking journey.
Hi.
Kimberly Prevatt is all smiles as she hustles across a hot Florida parking lot to Zoom with us on her lunch break. But don't let that fool you. She has been living a nightmare for the last 3.5 years.
We have not heard from him since January 23rd of 2019.
We connected with Kimberly after she posted about her son Tristin on the Washington and Oregon Missing Persons Facebook page, begging for any information, saying he was last seen in Portland. Kimberly told us Tristin left Florida months before he disappeared after he was caught using illegal drugs.
My husband had found a pipe sitting beside him on the porch, and he pretty much said, Tristin, we can't have this here. We have a minor child, and you just can't have this around your little brother.
Pictures of Tristin have been shared hundreds of times on multiple pages. In May, someone claiming to be a counselor contacted Kimberly to say he was okay. But that's all the information she got. She says Tristin suffers from depression and may be battling addiction, but he always checks in. So she fears the worst.
I've called out to the morgue in Portland. I've talked to the police. And when I asked to make him a missing person, I was told that he is a grown man, and if he doesn't want to talk to his mom, he doesn't have to.
Portland police tell us they get emails from around the country asking about missing people who may or may not be homeless. But they say they are critically short-staffed, so they prioritize people who are endangered. Even when they do find someone who's been reported missing, they let them choose if they want to contact the person who's looking for them.
Getting off the street is a journey, and there's lots of ups and downs, and it involves, communicating with loved ones or not.
Jeff Woodward understands the fear and frustration. He's the founder and moderator of the Portland Homeless Facebook page, which he says is constantly flooded with requests from family and friends.
They'll ask if I've seen them out on the street. They'll ask if I have any ideas of how they can be found.
But Woodward is also very familiar with what might be happening on the other end of that search. He's on the Evolve Street outreach team, which helps people who are homeless in Multnomah County navigate services so they can get off the streets.
As a peer support specialist, we're all about giving voice and choice to the people that we serve on the street. We are there not to tell people what to do, but to advocate for their choices. And if their choice is to not be communicating with their loved ones or their family members, then, that's their choice.
Well, normally Derek calls and asks for money, and this time I sent him money and I didn't hear back from him.
Woodward did help Joanne Wolf by sharing this post about her son Derek on his Facebook page in late May. She said she was scared. She and her daughter had called law enforcement, hospitals, and shelters, but they were all dead ends. She was trying not to panic.
And then it just hit me like a ton of bricks, like, oh my God, he's gone. And it just...
Yeah, but I'm alive.
That's Derek in the background, alive but not well. He called her after his friend saw the Facebook post, and she drove down from Everett to Portland to try to save him. As we talked with Joanne in her hotel room, Derek struggled on the bed next to her, either nodding off or writhing in pain from withdrawal.
Well, Derek started using when he was a teenager, like 16, 17. He didn't get into heroin until later. When did you start heroin?
Mid-20s.
Mid-20s.
Joanne found her son, but he's still lost.
I would love to just take him to treatment right now. I don't know if he's ready.
He was not ready. When we left the hotel, Joanne, who's a detox RN, told us she was taking him to a camp in Southeast Portland so he could get some pills. A few days later, she drove home without Derek. They are both stuck in the revolving door of addiction and homelessness.
When someone becomes homeless, it's almost like a bomb going off, and the shock waves radiate outwards, and it affects their loved ones, their family, their friends, their social networks, their support groups, everyone.
We just want him to be a part of the family and to know that he is loved beyond love.
Back in Panama City, Florida, Kimberly Prevatt is still waiting for any word on Tristin. She's considering donating DNA to see if it matches any unidentified remains. That is her grim reality, but she holds out hope.
Thank you so much, Mom. I love you.
That he's still alive, that someone will see this and tell Tristin he's an uncle. Tell him that his big brother Joshua passed away from a stroke right after Christmas. At the very least, Kimberly wants you to know that everyone struggling on the street has a story.
You don't have to donate money, but if you see someone's hungry, feed them. Let them use your phone to call their family, because it may be years since they've talked to them. Just don't spit on them. They're somebody's son or daughter.
There just appears to be a real sense of lawlessness and lack of accountability for people.
Frightening night on the job for a security guard on patrol early Sunday. This was the second time a guard was shot at in the past week and a half. Good evening. Thanks for joining us for K2 News at 11, everybody. I'm Steve Dunn. Deb Knapp is off tonight. K2's Francis Lynn joins us live after speaking with that guard's security company. And Fran, the shooting is different than the other one involving a security guard, right?
Yeah, so the scary thing about this shooting is that the guard's car was unmarked. Plus, it was the middle of the night, so it's possible that the shooter didn't know that the car was a guard's car, which means this could happen to anybody. They told me the bullet came in through the passenger side window diagonally and lodged into the windshield.
A bullet missed a security guard's head by about a foot. Private company Eclipse Security's owner, Mark Mercer, says one of his guards, Calvin, was just patrolling his regular area in his car when suddenly
The guy got out of the car and just started shooting at him.
He reacted fast.
Sped away and didn't stop, didn't stick around or anything else.
Mercer says surprisingly, all the bullets missed the car, but one. This one
Hit the passenger window, shattered the window, continued on. Went across Calvin and lodged itself in the windshield and probably missed his head by about a foot.
Do you have any plans to add bulletproof windows to the cars?
It would be nice. It's extremely costly. This situation was something that could have happened to anybody. We can certainly put people in armored cars and windows that don't break and full body gear. But you got to draw the line sooner or later.
People around the area say they're no longer surprised hearing about shootings, and they even ramped up after the pandemic.
Every week and a half, something happens somewhere in the city that involves a shooting.
And Mercer says he hopes there will be more consequences for shootings like this.
When people are allowed to do whatever they want to do, that's what they're going to do. When there's no accountability or no consequences for those actions.